His love of the game was further developed when he acted as scorer for the Bowral cricket team, who were captained by his uncle. Then one day, the team found themselves a player short. The 12-year-old Don was invited to play, and at the fall of the 8th wicket was sent in, carrying a bat almost as tall as he was. Don was 37 not out when the last wicket fell. The following Saturday the match was continued, and Don was opening Bowral's batting. Not long afterwards, Don persuaded his father to take him to the Sydney Cricket Ground to watch the 5th test of the 1920-21 series between Australia and England. Don would fondly recall a glorious 170 by Charles McCartney, as well as the superb stroke play of England's Frank Woolley and the smooth rhythm of Australia's pace bowler Ted MacDonald. Don left, telling his father, "I shall never be satisfied until I have played on this ground." Don's hopes were to be fulfilled. He progressed from bush cricket to grade cricket and eventually to first-class cricket, making 100 on debut for New South Wales against South Australia at the Adelaide Oval at the age of 19. Then, in the 1928-29 season, his performances for New South Wales against the English touring team earned him selection for Australia in the opening Ashes test at Brisbane. It was not a happy debut. Bradman failed twice with the bat, and after Australia were defeated, found himself dropped. It would be the only time in his career that this happened. He was recalled for the 3rd test, and his second innings 112 made him the youngest player to score a century in Test cricket. His efforts could not prevent England winning the match and retaining the Ashes. However, the margins were becoming tighter, and Bradman's performance in the 5th test at Melbourne helped steer Australia to a deserved victory. Don Bradman had established himself as part of a promising young Australian team. Few who arrived on English shores for Australia's tour of 1930 had experienced English conditions before. Doubts remained about Bradman's ability to reproduce his form on English pitches. Some questioned his open grip of the bat. Others queried his rotary stance, bringing the bat down at an angle of 45 degrees from the ball. English cricketers such as Percy Fender and Maurice Tate both voiced the opinion that he would need to keep a straighter bat in order to succeed in England. He was still at the crease and lacked a trigger movement, and at just 5'7" with small feet was physically unremarkable. A rather solitary figure who didn't drink or smoke, Bradman seemed an unlikely candidate to tame the best of English bowling in their own backyard. Bradman's response to his critics was swift and emphatic. On Australia's first match of the tour at New Road, Worcester, he scored a double century. He followed this up with 185 not out against Leicestershire. Against Surrey at the Oval, he scored 252 not outs. He also managed 191 against Hampshire at Southampton. Even though Australia lost the opening test of the series at Trent Bridge, Bradman's second innings 131 was an ominous sign of the challenge that England were facing. In the second test at Lord's, his 254 set up a comfortable victory for the tourists. Then, in the third test at Headingley, he hit an incredible 334, a test match record, passing 2,000 runs for the season and 1,000 runs in test cricket along the way. Following this, an admirer presented Bradman with £1,000. However, as his teammates celebrated, Bradman, a non-drinker, preferred to be in his room playing the piano and writing. The Headingley test ended in a draw, and poor weather would also prevent a result in the fourth test at Old Trafford. But as the finale at the Oval would be played to the finish, rain would not be allowed to save England. With the series level at 1-1 and Bradman rampant, the nerves of the England selectors were jingling.